Okay, also, if you're not with the press and you're here in the room just watching, if you have to have a conversation, we ask you to go out into the hallway. We don't want to have that background noise. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everybody, for the final press conference for what's going to be a sensational show this Saturday night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Premier boxing champions on Showtime Championship Boxing. This is about as good as it gets. I've said that a number of times in the last year and a half, and that's a good thing that I've been able to say that a lot, because this is a show that is loaded with talent, loaded with competitive fights, and has a sensational main event between two of the very best fighters in the world and two of the best fighters in the welterweight division, whose styles are going to mesh, I think, really, really well and make for a super exciting fight. Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter, this fight cannot miss. It's going to be a great fight, and the winner of this fight is going to establish themselves again as one of the men in boxing and in the welterweight division. They're both actually, in my view, I think there's not going to be a loser of this fight. I can't see this being anything but a sensational clash between two great fighters. Tickets for the live event, which I am co-promoting with TGB Promotions, Tom Brown and Brittany are here. They can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com, BarclaysCenter.com, or by calling 1-800-745-3000. They can also be purchased at the American Express box office at the Barclays Center. And tickets are moving incredibly well. And if you want to sit anywhere around the floor or near the floor or on good riser seats, you really, really better get your tickets ASAP. This event is selling as we expected to. It's got a tremendous supporting cast also. I mean, there are two other Showtime fights that should be really interesting fights. In the welterweight division, Mr. Ugas and Barrenueva fighting an eliminator. Terrific heavyweight fight between former world champion Charles Martin and up-and-coming rising star in the heavyweight division, Adam Kovnasky. Okay, it's Kovnasky. It's not Kaunacki, though, everybody. At least I'm trying to get it right. Once again, we're going to be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which has become one of the homes for big-time boxing, the premier homes for big-time boxing in the world. I know that Brett Yormark has bigger plans going forward, and he's going to talk about them right now, and it's my pleasure to bring up my friend and the man that's been behind the branding of Brooklyn boxing and the emergence of the Barclays Center as the premier East Coast venue for boxing, Brett Yormark.
Thank you, Lou, and thank you for all being here today. You know, as I think about where we've come from, I have to reflect for a moment or two. This month, it's 6 years we've been in Brooklyn. And in that time, we have hosted 260 bouts, 46 title fights. And on Saturday, it's our 30th big night of Brooklyn boxing since we opened the doors. So what an accomplishment, and I thank all of you that are here tonight for playing such a big role. You know, from the start, we wanted to make a commitment to the sport. Brooklyn had a legacy in the sport, and for us, we felt we needed to revive that tradition, and I think we've been able to do that. Fight nights like this Saturday, I think in many respects, help us stand out, you know, from the other venues in the marketplace. We have two of the sport's greatest champions facing off against one another for the welterweight title. And as Lou said, it's a card that's totally stacked. We've got local talent, and they're all 50-50 fights. And that's truly what defines Brooklyn boxing. Danny and Shawn, welcome back. Brooklyn loves you both, and you know you both have played a huge role in the emergence of the Brooklyn boxing brand, so thank you both very much. Adam, you and Amanda are kind of carrying the torch for Brooklynites, so welcome back. When Amanda gets here, I'll welcome her as well. Charles, glad to have you back. If I remember correctly, I think you became a world champion in our ring. So welcome back to Brooklyn. Your Dennis and Cesar, welcome to Brooklyn for the first time. you're in for an electric atmosphere on Saturday night. I don't think there's anything like being in Brooklyn on fight night. You know, as we celebrate our 30th fight, I'm wanting to make an announcement tonight, and we'll put out a press release a little later today. But I'm proud to announce that the Barclays Center has been named officially as of today the official East Coast venue for the PBC. We will be exclusive here in New York when it comes to PBC fights. And rather than being asked the question, no, you'll never see a PBC fight at the Garden, okay? Only in Brooklyn. The PBC will bring the biggest and best fights on the East Coast to our ring. We will host a minimum of 8 major big PBC fights a year. And a press release is forthcoming. We'll give that out to you today. I first and foremost want to thank the PBC. The relationship we have built over 15 fights together is invaluable. And this announcement today solidifies our shared goals in continuing to provide the best platform possible for the sport. With PBC's recently renewed partnership with Showtime Sports, alongside a multi-year deal with Fox and FS1, it's truly an exciting time for the entire sport of boxing. We're not a subscription platform. What the people
say how proud we are to be leading the biz. It's an incredible time for boxing, and our commitment has been and will continue to be second to none. Over the past several years, we have delivered the largest slate of live boxing events on television. We have the most pivotal matchups in boxing's deepest divisions. There's no other entity that's put as many resources, both financially and editorially, behind the sport and the growth. And our relationship with the PBC, and in a large part with the Barclays Center, we do so many events with them, it has fostered that growth. In 2018 alone, Showtime has delivered 26 live boxing events, 22 world title fights. That's far more than anyone else. And it's not just the quantity, but it's the quality. Fight of the year contenders, Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz earlier this year at Barclays Center. Erislandy Lara versus Jarrett Hurd was an incredible bout. Adonis Stevenson and Badu Jack had a war. We've had 3 world title unification fights. We've had 4 women's world title fights so far, and there's more to come, most notably Saturday night. This will be our 4th Showtime Championship boxing event at the Barclays Center just this year. It is our 19th overall in the building out of the 30 that Brett mentioned. That's an incredibly strong number, 2/3 already. We're proud of our collaboration with Brett Yormark and his team at Barclays. We think that we have done work together to contribute to elevate the experience both in the arena and for fans watching on TV. Saturday's main event. This is a 50-50 matchup. It's one that's been predicted by legends Manny Pacquiao and Ray Leonard, as well as contemporaries Keith Thurman and Mikey Garcia, as an all-action, exciting fight. Hard to pick a winner. This will be our 8th matchup of consensus top 5 ranked opponents on Showtime just this year. That's a remarkable number of top champions facing their top challengers. It's a trend that's proven to be contagious amongst the PBC fighters, and we've all enjoyed watching and the benefits of that. Together, Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter have been presented by our team at Showtime 20 times. We've seen them come of age, earn world titles, achieve stardom, and even survive dramatic razor-thin setbacks. Now they're headed for what is arguably the biggest night of their careers. In all, we'll present 6 fights on Saturday night live, each significant in its own right. The 3 Showtime Championship boxing bouts will begin live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, and we have 3 preliminary fights airing on our social media channels beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. We have 2 rising stars on our countdown show, and we have 1 potentially record-setting world title fight featuring Amanda Serrano. So, like so many before it, Saturday's fight card is a can't-miss event. We look forward to bringing it to you, and we look forward to helping to lead this renaissance for many years to come. Thank you, and good luck to all you fighters.
Before we get to the main Showtime fights, there is a terrific undercard yet again on the show. There are some terrific fights off of television and terrific talent, including undefeated fighters Jeffrey Torres and Dylan Price from Philadelphia, undefeated and his first time on the mainland for a pro fight. From the Virgin Islands, Olympian, stepson of Julian Jackson, Clayton Laurent. Clayton, stand up. Heavyweight, obviously a heavyweight. Cordell Booker, undefeated out of Brooklyn, New York, and we've, on every one of our shows, had a presence from Brooklyn and from the 5 boroughs, from fighters that have represented New York in the Golden Gloves and tried to create a local flavor. On that note, Chris Colbert, rising star from Brooklyn, New York, 8-0 in the featherweight division. And both Chris and Richardson Hitchens will be on the Showtime stream that begins at 7 p.m., as Chris de Blasio said. I also want to acknowledge a young lady that's fighting Amanda Serrano for the 140-pound WBO junior welterweight, but the junior welterweight championship is 140 pounds, but it's the 140-pound title of the WBO, Yamila Reynoso, who is also here. And then I'm going to bring up to represent the undercard, but also to represent women's boxing, and we've done this on every show we've done under the Brooklyn Boxing banner, and PBC's done it on every show we've done in the New York area. There has been a premier female fighter on the card, and on Saturday night it's going to be no different. It might be a little different because this female fighter at 29 years old on Saturday night will likely, or I'm not going to say will likely because I can't look past any opponent, and this is a tough fight with a much, much bigger woman. But she's going after her 6th world championship in her 6th weight division. That's only been done in the history of boxing by Manny Pacquiao and Oscar De La Hoya. She's 29 years old, and if she does that on Saturday night, she's likely cementing her Hall of Fame, and I saw Ed Brophy in here, her Hall of Fame credentials, in my view. I'd like to bring up, Ring Magazine calls her the 2nd best female fighter in the world, pound for pound. I call her the best female fighter in the United States. No offense to Claressa Shields, who's a great fighter. She just has to earn some more stripes. The great Amanda Serrano.
Wow, thank you, DeBella. I always get nervous at these things. I never in the ring, only here. But I want to thank DeBella, Showtime, and Barclays Center again for allowing me to have this great opportunity to make history again. Love you guys. I'm going to put on a hell of a show like I always do. Definitely want to thank my team, my trainer, Jordan Maldonado, my publicist from Puerto Rico, Fernando, who's always making sure my face is out in Puerto Rico. Thank you, Fernando. And my best sparring partner, my sister, Cindy Serrano. She's the best, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. But come Saturday night, I'm super excited. Sixth division, that's up there with, with two of the greatest men, De La Hoya and Pacquiao. And I'm more than honored to be a part of that crew. And I just have to say, I won all my titles by knockout, so I got to keep that trend going. So come Saturday night, it's going to be a great night. Thank Jamila Reynoso for taking this fight. You know, she's a bigger girl, but I'm tough, and I want that sixth division. And thank you all for coming. And come Saturday night, it's going to be a great night of fights.
And now I get to hand it over to one of my buddies, one of the voices of Showtime boxing, but also one of the voices of everything else if you watch sports television, the great Brian Custer.
Thank you, Lou. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say fantastic job by the promoters promoting such a high-quality fight that we're going to have on Showtime Championship Boxing come Saturday night. You got two of the best in the business. When you talk about Lou DiBella and Tom Brown, and Brittany Goosen is here as well. I think I saw her walking around here, done a phenomenal job promoting this fight. Love Lou DiBella a lot. Lou DiBella gave me my first job in combat sports, so I'm always grateful to Lou DiBella. Love him like a father. Appreciate you, Lou. Brett Yormark, he's talked about the Barclays Center. You know, I like to describe the Barclays Center whenever we have events there as the new mecca of boxing. And that's the reason why they've signed that great deal with the PBC. Congratulations, Brett, and what you've done with the Barclays Center. Now let's get down to the fight, and let's hear from the fighters. Triple header of fights that'll come your way on Showtime Championship Boxing on Saturday night. We talked about Amanda, but Amanda, one thing I wanted to ask you is, you talk about a 6 world title, 6 different weight divisions. You heard the 2 names, Oscar, Manny Pacquiao. They're the only fighters, male or female, to have accomplished something like that. If you're successful Saturday night, what would that mean to you to be in that class?
Well, it would mean everything. Like I said before, it's a great honor to be there. And I hope I'm doing something great for female boxing in the future. You know, if it's not for me, I hope it's for the young girls coming up in the sport. I hope I can continue to break down these barriers and open these doors for these young women. And hopefully I can cement my name in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Amanda. Now we get down to the televised version of the evening. And we're going to start things off in the heavyweight division. And you have a former world champion in Charles Martin taking on Adam Kovnowski, and Adam, undefeated fighter, fighting out of Brooklyn. And Adam, you're facing a former champion. You've passed basically every test that's been placed in front of you. Do you think this fight puts you on the scene nationally if you're victorious Saturday?
Yes, I think so. After Saturday night, everybody will know my name. Adam Kovnowski is going to be on everybody's lips. This is the next great heavyweight in America.
If you're victorious Saturday, will this be your statement win to this point in your career?
Yeah, I think last year my fight against Artur Szpilka was an appetizer, and this will be the main course.
His opponent, the former IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Charles Martin. And Charles, I know you're looking to regain that title, regain the boxing public's respect again after your time away. You've had a couple of comeback tune-ups, but do you think a win over an undefeated fighter like Adam proves that Charles Martin is back and ready to compete at the highest level in the heavyweight division?
Absolutely. I'm going to go in there and put on a show Saturday and put myself back in where I need to be.
Deontay Wilder will be there. He'll be at the fight and watching. What's the message you're trying to send to the heavyweight division come Saturday night?
That I'm here. Yep. I belong here.
That will be the first fight of the night. And then we go to what we call our co-main event. And you've got welterweights. You're Dennis Ugas taking on Cesar Barrio Nuevo. And Cesar, let's start with you. This will be your first fight here in the States. What are you hoping a win over a fighter like Ugas on a national network like Showtime will do for you? Samson Lukowicz will do the translation.
Este es tu primer combate en Estados Unidos. ¿Qué piensas que vas a hacer con Ugas en una emisora como Showtime, que es total en todas las naciones?
Bueno, buenas tardes, buenos días a todos los presentes. Bueno,
Good afternoon to everyone.
muy contento de estar, ser partícipe, digamos, de tal evento, de tal magnitud. Así que bueno,
I'm very happy
muy
to be
feliz,
here.
agradecido con Showtime y con mi
I want to
promotor
say
Samson
thank you to
Lukowicz
Showtime, to
por
Samson
darme esta
Lukowicz.
oportunidad. Sin duda va a ser una gran pelea.
It will
Quiero que
be a
sea
great
mi
fight.
carta de presentación.
And it be my presentation card.
Estoy preparado para dar un gran show
And
y
ready
que
to
la
do
gente quede conforme.
a great show, and I'll be ready to perform.
You're Dennis. I like to call you one of the most dangerous guys and fighters in that welterweight division. You just continue to roll after win, roll up win after win after win. Do you believe, though, this win over Barrio Nuevo finally gets you that title shot against one of the big boys at 147 pounds?
Él dice que a él le gusta llamarte uno de los peleadores más peligrosos en la división. Él te gusta ver seguir peleando, tú sigues ganando, pelea atrás pelea. ¿Tú crees que una ganada contra este oponente te pone al frente de esta división con la pelea que tú quieres?
No, buenas tardes a todos. Gracias a WBC, a Showtime por apostar por mí. Vamos a una gran pelea el sábado. Barrio Nuevo es un gran peleador. Estoy en un honor pelear en la cartelera de Dan y Chan, grandes campeones, grandes peleadores. Y el sábado pienso que mostrar todo mi talento y va a ser una gran pelea.
He wants to thank PBC, he wants to thank Showtime. It's an honor to be a part of such a big card at the Barclays Center. And Saturday he's just going to come and do what he needs to do. He's coming to win, and he's coming to put on a great performance, and the rest can take care of itself.
Do you believe a victory will finally give you that world title shot?
¿Tú crees que una ganada finalmente te va a dar una pelea para el título?
Bueno, pienso que hace 2 años soy uno de los peleadores más consistentes y activos del deporte. Pienso que estoy en la puerta de un campeonato, pero el sábado tengo algunos negocios que atender y después del sábado entonces hablamos.
He thinks he's been the most consistent fighter for the past 2 years. Again, he's going to come put on a great performance on Saturday, and the rest will handle itself.
And now we come to the main event. 2 former world champions fighting for the vacant WBC Welterweight title. Title that was vacated by Keith Thurman in April. Danny Garcia, the former WBC Welterweight champion, taking on Showtime Shawn Porter, the former IBF Welterweight champ. These are 2 fighters who basically have been orbiting around each other for quite some time, and now we've got the fight. Danny, I'll ask you, started off with you, and I'll ask you a question that I asked Shawn, had Shawn on the desk last month. Both you and Shawn are so similar. Former world champions, both trained by your fathers, both had that fight, close fight with Keith Thurman. What separates you from Shawn Porter?
You know, first of all, I want to thank God. You know, I want to thank my team, Team Garcia. I want to thank, you know, Al Heyman, Showtime. What separates me from Showtime, Shawn Porter, is, you know, I just feel like I'm a better fighter. You know, I'm a better all-around fighter. And, you know, I just feel like I'm a better fighter, and that's it.
Shawn, generally, fight fans, when you talk to them about the welterweight division, the two names they say at the top, they'll say Terrence Crawford, they'll say Errol Spence Jr. Kind of forget about Keith Thurman because he's been so inactive. But do you believe the winner of this fight changes that train of thought and that thinking?
Most definitely. And especially the way that I'm going to win this fight is going to be, you know, what I do to this man next to me and how it's done, and when I win, you're going to be wondering whether or not those guys can beat me, whether or not, you know, those guys can really have what it takes to beat me. And, you know, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to put on a great show. I'm here to win this championship and doing a fantastic form.
Danny, there's been this narrative out there that since you've moved up and been a welterweight, that they say Danny Garcia cherry picks his opponents. You heard Keith Thurman try to use that. I saw a skit that Shawn Porter used doing the same thing. He kind of mocked you about it. Respond to that criticism.
Well, if I'm a cherry picker, don't that make you a cherry? Says everything. I don't have to say much about that.
Shawn, it's a good response. Vegas has Danny as the slight betting favorite to win Saturday night. So give me your thoughts on you going into this fight, ironically, as the underdog, considering this is a guy who, as you say, cherry picks his opponents.
That's what I'm used to. I know people have won money on me before, and it wasn't because I was the guy expected to win. You know, so there's gonna be a lot of people out there winning a lot of money, and I'm looking forward to doing what it takes for them to get paid. This is what I do, and I love it. You know, and as I said on the video, he couldn't find a cherry for Saturday. He getting in the ring with a pit bull. He know that.
Danny, and this is going to be for both of you. Our Steve Farhood had an interview with Keith Thurman. You both have fought him. He rated both of you guys. He said ring IQ even, chin even. But he leans towards Porter by a decision. Your thoughts?
You know, that's his personal opinion. Like I said before, my style is completely way different than Keith Thurman. So you can't really go by that. You know, styles make fights. I'm a different type of fighter than Keith Thurman. I know I'm the better boxer than Shawn Porter. And I just got to go in there Saturday night and improve it. Let it all hang out. Let my nuts hang.
You coming with the responses there. Shawn, your thoughts on Keith Thurman's prediction?
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Styles make fights. I know that's an unbiased opinion by Keith, so I respect it. Even if he had said he thought Danny would win, I still would respect it because he's been in the ring with both of us. He knows what both of us have. And even outside of that, he understands boxing. And so I respect his decision. I think one way or another, I'm going to win this fight. Whether it's decision, knockout, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to win this fight. I told you before, man, there's nothing I've ever wanted in my life, in my entire life. I'm 30 years old. There's nothing I've ever wanted more than this. And with that being said, I'm out there to take it. Taking them nuts.
No homo.
Hey, basically, I'm taking any and everything he coming with. I'm taking it. It's mine.
Hey, I'm trying to have more kids, bro. Don't hit me with no low blows, please.
Hey,
that hurt. Feeling that hurt. You just hearing that.
Whatever it takes.
Those were my wildest dreams, and I think we were going to go there today. But okay, I'm with it.
Told you, I'm trying to have fun.
Absolutely.
That sounds like some weird fun, bro.
Danny, let's get back to the fight. This is for that vacant WBC, that green belt. You had it. And in fact, I was looking over your record. If I'm not mistaken, your first world title was a WBC belt, even at 140. What would it mean to you to have that strap again?
Oh, it means the world to me.
Why?
You know, it's a new chapter in my career. It's a new chapter in my career. Been in a lot of great fights. I've been in a lot of tough fights. You know, I'm a seasoned boxer. I'm a seasoned champion. And just regaining something that was mine, you know, it's like a bully, you know, steals your lunch money. You can't wait to get him back. And then when you finally beat his ass, it's like, yeah, I knew I was the man. You tried to pick on me because I was quiet. You know what I mean? So it just felt like one of those moments where I just got to prove myself that, you know, I'm still the best fighter in the world.
My follow-up to that is, and I talked with Shawn about this, Errol Spence Jr. says that he's been promised the winner of this fight. If you're victorious, do we see a unification fight of Danny Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. in 2019?
Well, absolutely. You know, if the money's right, you know, like I said before, I want the biggest fights, the biggest money paydays. I'm in the point of my career where, you know, this would be my fourth world title, so let the money start talking. You know, I deserve it. I faced everyone they put in front of me. And right now it's just all about, you know, the moolah, the money. I got a family to feed. I want to have more kids.
Shawn, you were once the IBF welterweight champion. Now you get this WBC belt. You have the opportunity to secure that around your waist. What would that mean to you?
It means the world to me.
Why is that?
This is my goal. I'm a very goal-oriented person. I set goals. I accomplish my goals. It's what I do. It's a part of me. It's a part of who I am. So I didn't know when I was going to be able to fight for this WBC title. And, you know, as soon as this fight was announced for the WBC, yes, it's finally here. This is mine, my opportunity. I'm going to get it.
More so than the IBF belt?
Yes. This goal was set after the IBF title. I just felt like that this WBC title has so much lineage and so much wrapped around it, and for me to want to be a part of that, WBC family, that's what I'm going after.
We'll wrap it up with this. Give you a final comment on what should fight fans expect Saturday night when they tune in to Showtime Championship Boxing.
Expect Danny Garcia to have the shortest ass new chapter of his life Saturday night. It's the shortest chapter he's ever had. It's going down Saturday, and that fight, that belt's going back to Vegas with me.
Danny?
Shortest ass and taking nuts. I don't know what to say. Nah, I mean, you know, I feel good. I feel good. This is nothing new to me. I've been performing at this level for a long time. I put in the hard work. You know, it's been a real hot summer. You know, I missed my daughter's first day of school, the other day preschool, so I'm sacrificing, you know what I mean? So I feel good, man. And come Saturday night, I'm going to get this victory because I'm the better fighter and I'm a true champion.
There you have it. That will be the main event on Showtime Championship Boxing. We're going to have these fighters face off now and take some pictures. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you Saturday night.